take a ton of questions on it because I care more about covering the lesson that we need to cover than if your homework gets turned in or not, because it can be a little late. Now, if you're just not doing your homework, that's an issue. And if you're already behind, we're going to try to give you some opportunities to catch up this week. If you'd like to stay after school today, I know it's a really quick offer and you'd have to like text parents and work out transportation or whatever, but like teachers are going to stay after school to make the MI countries, like put your teams together. If you'd like to stay after school today to catch up on some work, talk to us. We can help you arrange that. We're probably going to stay for like an extra hour if you would like. Aiden, go ahead. All right, so scrolling because I was checking homework. Antonella, do you want Bosco sticks, chicken patty? Do you want Bosco sticks, chicken, or pizza? Pepperoni pizza. 8-2-1 and 8-2-2. Obviously, we jumped around. You guys, if you want to check 35, looking at if those samples were representative or not. You said pepperoni pizza? I'm going to pull out that homework to double check what questions it was that we were answering. All right, questions on 35. About whether they were representative or not. All right, so then if we flip to the back, we did have 36 next, but then we jumped to 38, and then we jumped to the next homework. So really, you're checking 36 and 38, and then we jump to the next homework. Farah, what's up? Robert wanted to buy a computer game that cost $25 last week. This week, he went back to buy the game that was priced at $35. What was the percent increase? Just remember, to do our percent change problems, it's always the amount of change divided by the original. So I would probably write down the formula first of percent change is change over the original, just to remind ourselves, because then part B works differently. Bless you. So here change was the price went up by $10, and the original price was $25. So that's the division that we're going to do, and that's actually going to get us 0.40, I believe. And then that becomes 40%. Kind of a big jump. Susan bought a jacket on sale. The original price was $35. It was marked down to $25. Here's the trick part about B. And I know you didn't even ask about B, but guys, this is exactly like what we did in class. I got some people that I hope are changing answers as opposed to just frantically doing homework. Or if you're doing this along with me, that's okay as long as you're listening. Now our change is 10. But our original price was 35. And I'm going to let you do that division on your own and change that decimal to a percent on your own. Why are A and B different? The original is different. Right? The original is different in part A versus part B. So therefore, the denominator is different in part A versus part B. For 38, just while my dot camera's turned on, and I give you this hint, guys, we could break this up. If I wanted to, I could break this up down this line and look at a big triangle on the end, or I could look at these small triangles and really say that I have 4 of those small triangles. I could look at the smaller rectangles or combine it to the bigger rectangle. It tells me that 12 is just this length. That's what 12 is. So 30 across the middle, 12 across there again. My shape over here, I talked to a couple people about, you could, I mean, maybe it was your class that I said this when we talked about the homework when I gave it out. You could just solve the entire area of the whole thing and then take away the missing area. You could just take away that missing part if you want to. Or you could break this up into rectangles in a few different ways. All right, and then the answers for 45, 47, we're on the next homework. So your box plot should look something like this. And 47 on graph paper. They don't have the trapezoid, do they?
Wait, do we turn in that one also?
This is all from the same homework. 8. This is 822. So this is the homework labeled. Yeah, so if you glanced at mine that I put under the camera, ignore what this says because this was a print that I made before I made my copies. This homework for you guys is labeled 821, 822. But it covers both of those lessons. That's why there's a jump in the problems back here from 38 to 45. That's why it jumps. So these come from 8.2.2. All right, so honestly, if you don't have that done and ready to turn in, that's okay. I care more about us doing the lesson today. So we're not going to do more questions because I know that some of you guys are like, oh, I didn't do this problem. I'll ask a question about it. Use homework help. Come see me if you need help. We got to talk about making triangles today, which first involves you guys just playing on your computers. So if you're done with that homework, turn it in. If you're not, it's okay. You need ruler, protractor, graph paper, and the homework sheet thing that's up front. Are we going to what? Yes. Sorry, you missed me saying that, but that's why everyone has their Chromebooks out. Antonella, I'm guessing that you were late because you were like cleaning stuff up in the art room, so thank you for not just like leaving. I appreciate that you helped clean up. I mean, sometimes art is messy, is what my sister has told me. I'm not as much of an artist. There is a canteen on Friday. So, to say this again, while people are getting to the ebook, which if you don't remember how to get to the ebook, I will remind you. But if you are not green button mastered, you will be asked to go get a note from that teacher saying that you're good to go. And like for you to be good to go, it probably needs to be turned in like on Thursday so we know we have it. So don't think that you can like cram Thursday night and sneak stuff in on Friday. Like that probably won't help you. So you need to try to get mastered by Thursday, or it's okay. We'll give you the opportunity to get work done at school, which is what you're supposed to do. The canteen is just extra, like it's reward for if you have all your work done. So if you want to stay after school today, talk to one of your teachers, your advisor, whoever. We can text your parents, try to work it out. You just got to have a ride home. I will commit to like, I'll stay here till 5:30.
I'm already going to be here till 6,
So there you go. So we can put you in the family room, spread you guys out so you got plenty of space and like you can focus and work and no siblings. I know some of you guys complain about little brother, little sister annoying you when you're trying to do work. All right, so that we don't just keep staring at Bruce Willis's face. You are going to go to, if you don't like have it saved on your computer, just Google CPM ebooks. It might pop up with CC2 as an automatic option. Or no, sorry, that's for homework help. So click on CPM ebook. If you're not logged in, it's going to pop up with the how do you want to log in page. Click with Google. If you're having issues, please raise your hand so Miss Martin or myself can pop over and help you. Choose your school account, your WS Cloud account. It should let you write in. Then you are going ebook. Most of us should choose the English version, probably all of us. You're going to chapter 8. We're still in chapter 8 today. 834. Okay, chapter 8, 834 is what you're looking for. And then if you want to get rid of the bar on the left, the selection bar, just click the little full screen button over here at the right. That little full screen button will clean it up. Here's what you're wanting to click on. The 92 Triangle Creation e-tool. And then just play with it. Any issues, raise your hand so I can come help. Get you where you need to be. 834. You're looking for problem 92. So click on that e-tool. So go ahead and click on it. And play with things. Scroll down a tiny bit. It's in It's one of the blue links. It says the Triangle Creation e-tool. And then just move some points around. Grab some stuff. Play with what can happen. See if there's anything you notice. It's on a grid, so you can kind of make a right angle just by using the grid. So what are some things it gives us? What are some things it gives us? Like that you can just see. Yeah, I mean the vertices and the sides, but it's cool that it actively changes to show us the side lengths, right? If I drag one of my points, let's all actually line up AC flat across the page. I don't care how long it is. You can make it a nice length if you would like. Let's try to line up AC flat across the page. And go ahead and try to make it a nice length. Sometimes it's a little frustrating to try to make it a nice length. You can zoom in and zoom out. Guys, this bar on the left, scroll down. Notice how it shows you the angle sizes.
You can zoom out too.
Yeah, you can use your scroll wheel to zoom out, zoom in. So, if I have AC across the bottom, and I take point B, and I try to almost get flat, and maybe I'll do it pretty much in the middle. What do you notice? It's like I made AC 6. Anyone would say something about as I pull B closer and closer to my line? There are papers up front to grab a copy of. Oh, you mean like graded papers? Yeah, but I'm diving right into the lesson.
I have Daniel Molesky to the office, please. Daniel, please come to the office. And also...
Don't answer the phone.
Valerie Tapia. Thank you.
If you'd like to pass these out, you're more than welcome. Or if you want to play with the triangles. Anyone have an observation as B gets closer and closer to the line? As opposed to what if I pull B really far away from the line?
A and C get smaller while B gets bigger.
Ooh. So certain sides get smaller while certain things, the sides change. Can I only change one of my sides? So moving a point does what? Changes everything, right? If I move a point, it changes both sides, and I think it changes the angles. Hey, pop quiz. Pop quiz, yeah. How many pieces, hey, give me your eyes, because a lot of you are super playing with the triangle, which you can get to this whenever you want. Don't do it in the middle of social studies class, but you can get to this whenever you want. How many pieces does a triangle have? See, this is a trick question in a way. What's tri stand for? 3. But what's triangle? 3 angles. It also has 3 sides. So a triangle has 6 parts, right? A triangle has 6 parts. It's got 3 sides and 3 angles. Pop back to, actually, we're just going to like pause on the computer for a second. Grab your ruler and your protractor. Grab your ruler, and if you don't have it, come up front and get one. And there are probably more rulers over there. Your protractor is also a ruler. The arm ones might be the easiest today. They might be. Oh no, the arm is down there. Let's see if I can fix it. Nope, somebody broke it. This is trash now. You can use one of the other ones. It is totally fine. Like, I like these ones. So, you could do this on graph paper and like line up with the grid lines, or you could just do this on our blank paper because we have space. So honestly, like, you got plenty of space here. We can do this here. For triangle 1, we want a side length of 4.5 centimeters and an angle of 135 degrees. Go ahead and try to draw that on your paper. A side of 4.5 centimeters. Centimeters. Metric. Oh, I got a couple broken rulers up here. Anyone still need a ruler? I have 2 full ones. I have 2 unbroken rulers. Don't break it. Trust in you. If your ruler's broken, okay, we're doing this on paper now. If your ruler's broken, you can still measure 4.5 centimeters. You just have to do a subtraction. Or if you get lucky and have the correct side. But guys, watch. Here's a trick. Well, you can watch if you want to. You don't have to. My ruler's broken and I don't have my 0. So instead, I'm going to start at 6 and then just add 4.5. So I guess saying you have to do a subtraction and addition are the same thing. Right? So from 6 to 10.5, that is 4.5 centimeters. Label that side 4.5 centimeters. Guys, if you draw something a specific length, label it. It's silly if we don't label it. Now, practice making a 135-degree angle on one of those endpoints. 135 degrees on one of our endpoints. Now, there are lots of different types of protractors, and there's actually one I forgot. So here's another option. If you'd like to come up and get one of these protractors, you can. If you don't love the protractor you have. These shapes templates have protractors on the bottom of them. Works the same way. Except if you can't read it, you're upside down. So don't be silly like me. Remember, find your 0. Where your line points at your 0, that's the numbers you're using to count. Is 135 going to be acute or obtuse? Obtuse, right? All right, so if you need help, you can look up here. I'm going to walk through how I'm doing my 135 degrees. My line at the base of my triangle goes through the 0 that is on my outside number set. So I dial that all the way around till I find my 135. Uh-oh, I'm almost off the paper. Would I have to do my 135 off this side of the bottom line? No, I could have gone off the other side, right? But I chose this point. So now where I marked that 135 degrees, I'm going to draw that line. And then I'm going to label my angle 135 degrees. Make sure you put the degree symbol. Now, did they tell me anything else about how long this other leg should be or any other angles? For triangle 1, did they tell me anything else? No, they don't tell me anything else. So guys, your triangle could look like this. Your triangle could look like this. Your triangle could look all kinds of crazy ways. You could make this third side however long you want. Anybody struggling? If not, you can go ahead and try to draw triangle 2 on your paper. Yeah, you could have put your 135 on either side. That's what I was wondering. So I gave you a check, but I just wanted to chat with you about making sure. Because that problem was kind of difficult, but that might have been really. Are you in the choir? I'm trying to remember who might have been gone. Yeah, so Layla made her 135 line super long, which is totally fine because they don't tell us how long. You know, so that's not 4.5 centimeters. I technically did 4.5 inches. Yeah, so actually you can just cross out centimeters and label it inches. Because we did it in half, so there's kind of no going back. It's at 135 degrees. This side's probably going to be easier than this side. So then our 0 is the inside numbers. So we dial around until the inside number has 135 and make the mark, and then we'll draw the connecting line. Now you're missing your arm here, so this doesn't have a good point in the middle. So honestly, I would probably use this or this. Because here you line up your end point with that little tick mark. Here your end point can literally go straight in the hole. So that's easier to say, okay, if I line this up using the hole, I can go straight through and find my end point. So that's a bit easier. So you use this, just make sure you give it back things out with a bunch of those. Yep. So now, some of you discovered you weren't using centimeters. Some of you discovered you weren't using the right set of numbers. This should be obtuse. Guys, this line that we drew to go out the angle, that can be any length. It could be as long as, well, could it be any length? We're going to talk about that. It could be short, it could be long, but I don't know if it could be, like, could this be a mile long? Well, it depends on the other side. Right? How long this pencil side is going to determine how long this third side is. So we'll come back to that conversation. Go ahead and try 2 angles of 90 degrees and 60 degrees. Different triangles. So do they tell me anything about the sides? They don't tell me anything about length. So we're just going to make whatever length we want. You could just draw a line. And then 90 degrees, well, that's pretty straightforward. You do not have to do anything specific with the length. Now, depending on your protractor, 90 has its own little section. Like, see my blue protractor? I have to bump up because the plastic connects here to make it stronger. So my 90, I actually kind of wrote on one of my letters. I'm going to draw this light because I don't know if I'm going to use this entire length. Label your 90 degrees with a square. Label your 90 degrees with that square. And then I need to set my other angle to 60 degrees. Guys, just watch up here real quick. So give me your eyes real fast. Like, put your pencil down for a second if you can't resist. I made this angle 90. I'm now going to make this other one 60. So I find my 0. I kind of go up my gauge to my 60. And now I'm getting a little bit crowded on my paper here, so I might grab a piece of graph paper if I'm too crowded. I have to go from here through that point.
Armin, to the office, please. Katie. Thank you.
Oh, Katie Harmon. Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't quite hear the last name. They came on weird. So guys, this side that I drew isn't long enough. Can I go back and draw it longer? Yeah, just grab your ruler, draw it longer. Ba-boom. All right, go ahead and try it. Make sure that you label the stuff you did specifically. Guys, if you want to do this on graph paper, you should have a piece of graph paper. And 90 degrees will follow the grid. 90 degrees would follow your grid. So I'm doing it on graph paper now just to show an example. I do not even need my protractor for 90 degrees if I'm on grid paper. And guys, I got to break my habit of saying graph paper. I should call this grid paper. Because we turn grid paper into a graph. $90. Now, do me a favor, and if this is 90, and we made another one to be 60, measure the third angle. Go ahead and try to measure the third angle. What don't we get? So, check it. I made this 90. I made this 60 degrees. There's also this angle up here. So if I go to measure it, I can move my things around a little bit. Line up like we did last week. Find my 0. What does this third angle go through? What degree measure? Is it going to be 150 or is it going to be 30? 30 because I use the set of numbers with my 0. So this measures 30, and this introduces us to one of our triangle rules. So guys, somewhere, whether it's on graph paper or on your notes paper, we're going to write down triangle, angle, sum. And we can say theorem if we want. This is not in your notes. I'm sorry, I didn't include this in your math notes. Will somebody at Kylie's group let her copy your paper when she gets back? And guys, we abbreviate theorem with THRM. We essentially take the vowels out of it. So, theorem. Always. And I have a cheesy poster way over there with the sun on it. No matter how hot or cold outside, inside any triangle, guys, all my posters will be down next week or before you guys get back from spring break. I got to take all my posters down because of this. This rule has been in front of you all year long. The 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees always. So if we have 3 angles that we call A, B, and C, we can say angle A plus angle B plus angle C always equal 180 degrees. And there's this really cool reason why. let's say you're trying to teach a younger brother or younger sister about triangles. And you're trying to teach them this rule. And they're having none of it. They're just not having a good time. Hey guys, we're going to come back and review all these rules like later, like probably after the test, and just practice them and play with them. So you're trying to make this fun for little brother, little sister, whoever. Green, blue, red are normally our primary colors, I feel like. So you decide to color your triangle. So like I'm going to make this angle the pink angle. Make this angle the blue angle. And going to make this angle the green angle. Now what can we probably say about the blue angle? What it looks like? Yeah, it looks like a right angle. So we would classify this triangle as a right triangle. But your little brother or little sister, let's call them Abby, although Abby's my older sister, gets mad. And when you walked away to the kitchen to get a snack, they ripped up your triangle. And they come back, or you come back, and you say, "What did you do?" And they say, "Well, try means 3, right? So now we have 3. And you're like, "Funny, great, I put so much time into making this triangle." But while you were in the kitchen, what they noticed when they ripped up that triangle was if you line up this piece, and this piece, they actually perfectly make a straight line. This will always happen. If you have any triangle and you rip it apart and line the corners up, they will always make a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So the triangle angle sum theorem essentially says the 3 angles of your triangle, what's the word for add up to 180? Oh, we'll make this worth a piece of candy then if nobody can remember. Add up to 180. We learned it last week. Close. There's a... It's right there. Supplementary. So label this on your paper. Supplementary. Guys, and this is why you have to do your homework. So you practice the vocab and it gets into your memory. Guys, you have working memory and long-term memory, and you have to practice to get stuff into your long-term memory. You can learn it for a day and forget it in a day. But if you practice it, it actually shifts to your long-term. Now I got to teach you something else real quick that is in our math notes. So pull out your math notes box. Or actually, pull your Chromebook back out. Since your math notes aren't out and your Chromebook is, let's go ahead and go back to the ebook. Back to the ebook and go to problem 94. Triangle inequality student e-tool. And then scroll down to where you can see the lengths. So again, look up here if you're lost. You're finding problem 94. And click on this first blue link, the Triangle Inequality Student e-tool. '94 Triangle Inequality Student e-tool. If I ask you to make a triangle with lengths 1.5, 5, and 4.5. Guys, let's go ahead and make kind of, not really a rule, but a best practice. A best practice that'll make your life easier. Put the longest side down first and make it the bottom one. So AC, everyone's screen should kind of look like this. Let's make AC 5. Let's dial AC down until it's 5. AB, let's make that our, I'm going to go to the 1.5. Let's make AB 1.5. You could just type it in if you click on it. Normally somebody tries and then they tell me, hey Hudson, you could just type this. If you click on your length and delete it, you can then just type it in. So you want 5, 1.5, and 4.5. We're going to make the longest one the bottom. And I'm zooming in on my screen a little bit using my scroll wheel. I'm zooming in to make it a bit bigger. Now, John, you said that's not a triangle, but can I move my B's to be on top of each other? Could these B's connect with each other? Could these B's connect with each other and make a triangle? Yeah. I could connect my B's. Go ahead and try to make the next triangle 4.5, 5, and 7. 4.5, 5, and 7. It's not super important which one's which, but I did 7, 4.5, and then 5. Could my B's still connect to each other? Could my B's still connect with each other? Yeah, I can definitely reach them. I got to line it up just right, but my B's can definitely still reach each other. And then, let's try 1.5, 4.5, and 7. So you could leave 7 and you could leave 4.5, but we can change this to 1.5. Try that out. What do you notice? And then get out your math notes packet. If you have already realized what there is to realize here. What's happening with this situation? They can't reach each other. They're so close, but yet they're so far away. Guys, this, and I only got 2 minutes left, so I need your focus. I am sorry. I know I'm just cramming in some learning. This is what we call the triangle inequality, and I gave you very clear notes on this. I gave you really clear notes on this. To be a triangle, the two short sides have to be longer, not just as long, longer than the third. So in your math notes, I give you an example of what we just tried. Something like this. Now, the numbers are different because I wanted these to all be whole numbers. What's 5 plus 7? 12. Is 5 plus 7 longer than 15? No. So imagine, like, I don't know what in your imagination you can think, but I kind of think of, like, if I'm trying to span a gap that is 15 meters long and I'm trying to connect two pieces of a bridge or something like that. If you think of like a drawbridge sort of thing, like these two pieces have to be longer than the gap I'm trying to get across. What happens if they're just equal to each other? If they're equal to each other, they'll only reach when they're flat, and this is still not a triangle. This is still not going to form a triangle because they cannot reach each other unless it's flat. And guys, I typed all this out for you. I typed this out because I knew I would be in a rush. So the other thing that you could write down here to make your notes page really good Guys, you should do this. You should do this. Also, angle A plus angle B plus angle C. What did we say? The three angles always add up to 180. That's the other thing that I forgot to put in your notes. I am sorry. I'm still progressing at being a teacher. Like, I'm still working on it. I'm still getting better. I would not say I have mastered this yet because I forgot something in your notes, right? All right, guys, that's it for today. Have a wonderful day. 4 days till spring break. Only 4 more math classes at least.
3 more for me.
Have a great Monday. Miss Martin, try to put your stuff away if you can. If you can't, I mean, you should be able to.